Hello students, this is my fourth lecture and in this lecture I am going to explain the retrosynthetic analysis of cation ethyl ester. This cation is a drug molecule and that can be used to lower the blood lipid level. Retrosynthetic analysis is a very important tool to discover the complicated molecules, especially the precursors of the uh, drug molecules. So let us start with the retrosynthetic analysis of the cation ethyl ester. So here I will draw, so I can say that this is a target material or target molecule. This is a target molecule. All right. Now let us start the retrosynthetic analysis. Now always remember retrosynthesis have two parts. One part is the analysis part and the another part is the synthesis part. Alright. Now here I will start with the retrosynthetic analysis. Now I am going to draw the structure of the molecule where now in the previous lecture I have explained that always you have to observe the molecule first. Find out what are the functional groups which are present in the molecule basically. All right. So let us carry out the reverse process and let us find out the fragments of this molecule. Again, this is my target molecule. Now the first thing what I will do, I will put some observations over here. Observation number 1. What are the functional groups present in the molecule? Now here I can see the ester group. Even I can see a secondary amine. Secondary amine and the aromatic ring. So the combination of these three chemical structures, you can construct the target molecule. So this is with the help of observation, you can get some clue. All right. Now here the question is you have two most important what we can say the functional groups over here. One is the ester and another one is the amine. Now where do I put a cut, at the ester level or at the amine? So let me explain. So whether I should put the so I have these two centers. These two centers I have. So I have marked these two centers. Now the question is, which group should we disconnect first? Disconnect first. Okay. Now there might be you can say that okay, the ester is the reactive one and you can disconnect. No, there should be some chemistry behind that. Now let us compare the as we know that whenever there is a such type of disconnection, so always consider the CX type of disconnection. So CX, now what is X? X is nothing but the nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, etc. Okay. Now here you have two heteroatoms because look at these two centers. Now I can show you from where I can put a cut. So this is one more center. Now how many centers you can see over here? Now here I will delete this one because this is a CC this will be a CC disconnection, so I cannot consider this one. But this is a CO disconnection. Okay, so this will be your CO disconnection and this will be your CN disconnection. So which disconnection I should consider, CO or CN? Which disconnection will be first? Now the answer is I can go with CN disconnection. CN disconnection. The point is reactivity. Nitrogen is more reactive than the oxygen. So we cannot consider the donation of electrons because this factor doesn't work over here. Here the nitrogen is less electronegative, so this is more reactive than the oxygen. That's why we have to consider the CN disconnection first. So let us consider the CN disconnection first. Let us consider the CN disconnection first. All right. Now, again, let me draw the molecule. So I am drawing this molecule and now I am applying the disconnection approach and so here is ester group and here it is nitrogen or primary amine. Now as I told you that because of this reason this center is more reactive than this center. If the center is more reactive, we have to consider this disconnection first. So this is my first disconnection. I am numbering this as a first disconnection where I can put cut over here. Okay. Now what are the fragments? The fragments are okay, but let us have the two disconnections. Now here I can put disconnection over here. Okay, so this will not work. Okay, so you can see that there are two centers. So where do I put disconnection? We know that I am going to disconnect the CN. But which CN I am going to disconnect? this one or this one. So let us see both possibilities first. Now here again the pathway 1. So this is the first pathway and this is the second pathway. So I am right now okay. Let us draw the structure first and then we go with the retrosynthetic analysis. All right. Now you know that I am going to disconnect this EN first. Now here I can see that there are two CN possibilities. One CN is this nitrogen is connected with this carbon. So I will color this carbon. So this is the first carbon and this is the second carbon. So which disconnection will give you the good synthons? Now here I can okay, we'll give you both possibilities and let us see what type of synthons you can get over here. As we know that nitrogen is more electronegative than the carbon, so negative charge will remain at nitrogen. And positive charge will remain at the uh, aromatic ring. All right. And what will be the second possibility? Second possibility is will give you a synthon. This is the second possibility. That is the second possibility. CN disconnection. All right. So ester will remain like this. Here and so this fragment will be RCH2. Now as I told you that this factor, so both are obviously they are the synthons. One is acceptor, another one is donor. As usual, both are synthons. Now which synthons are good synthons? Every time you can see, please remember this, a positive charge on the aromatic ring will give you a very unstable intermediate. Very unstable intermediate. Only in the nucleophilic substitution reaction you can create the electron deficient center at the aromatic ring by diazotization. But here we are not going to carry out a diazotization, so there is no question developing a positive charge because this is highly this aromatic ring itself acts as a nucleophile always. All right. So these synthons are not good synthons. Whenever there is a positive charge on the aromatic ring, so please consider such synthons are not good synthons. Now look at the second pathway. First pathway is we are not going to follow the first pathway. We are not going to follow it. Now second pathway will give you the two synthons and they are quite good synthons and you will get the chemical equivalence. So here you will get the chemical equivalent, and RCH2. So here you can use Cl, Br, etc. So here I can use Br. Go to the part 2 where I have I'm getting the two synthons. So they are pretty good synthons, and I'm getting this synthetic equivalents. All right. Now these are the synthetic equivalents. Synthetic equivalents. Now please remember the again the definition of the retrosynthesis. If you see this molecule again it has two functional groups. All right. So we have to make this molecule more simpler. All right. So functional groups, what I can see the ester, and I can see the amine, and I can see the aromatic ring. Step 2, this is the step 1. This is a step 1. CN disconnection will be your step 1. All right. Here, what type of disconnection we are expecting over here? So initially I told you that no doubt oxygen is more reactive than nitrogen. Okay, so I must go with the CN disconnection. But if I cut this, if I put cut over here, what will develop? The positive charge will develop on the ring, and we have already discussed the stability of the intermediate, that is of aromatic ring when it has a positive charge. So the aromatic ring having a positive charge is always an unstable intermediate. So this disconnection, extrapolate this molecule a little bit, and then we'll see the disconnection over here. I hope you understand why I have not done this CN disconnection. The reason is, if I cut over here, what I will get a positive charge on the aromatic ring, and that positive charge aromatic ring is unstable intermediate. And the reason I have already explained over in the first step. So that's why I'm not going to put a cut at this, or I am not going to cut this molecule. All right. So CN disconnection is not feasible in this case. Then let us extrapolate the molecule. So little bit of work I'm doing, that is the, all right. So I have just expanded this ethyl group with this. Now it is quite clear over here that where do I put disconnection? Now here CO disconnection is feasible. Now again you can see that which disconnection. Now again there are two possibilities. Here is the first possibility and here is the second possibility. So first possibility and the second possibility. Second possibility, because the synthons I am getting over here will be a carboxylic acid. So these are the excellent synthons too, and COOH, and here I am getting the CH3, CH2, Br. So these are the readily available para-aminobenzoic acid is readily available. The ethyl bromide, that is also readily available in the market. All right. Now here what again the second part of the react is the retrosynthesis is synthesis of the target molecule. All right. Now the both are the starting material. Both are the starting material. All right. Now let us consider the synthesis of the molecule. Now here in the synthesis, we know that if we take the carboxylic acid and the alcohol, you can get the esters. So we can synthesize the esters from carboxylic acids and the alcohols. Now let us see the synthesis of the ester first, and then we will carry out the formation of the secondary amines. So para-aminobenzoic acid here is a starting material, and if I take ethanol with acid hydrolysis, I'll get the formation of ester. I'll get the formation of ester over here. Now, by using ethyl bromide, so this is a good alkylating agent. Now, I can easily so this is a CH3. This is a target molecule. So guys, this is a final synthesis of the catabene ester. Hope you understand the retrosynthetic analysis. If you have any doubt, you can send me an email. So today I'm going to share my email address with you. If you have any query, please send me on my email. And thank you so much.